Hello, everyone, and welcome to Video Content Creation. I am Turbo, the Tech Nerd, and today we're going to talk about what you need to start on YouTube. Now, everybody thinks that you need all of this fancy equipment, and you need a setup like this where you have all kinds of crazy things going on, and that is definitely not the reality. You can do this with your phone, just literally just your phone. This is my absolute first live stream, so excuse me if I don't get everything right. I am going to do my best to keep it interesting. Hopefully we have somebody that comes on and actually wants to talk and ask some questions. I'm thinking that it's not going to get super busy because, well, I only have 119 subscribers at this point, so who am I to tell you how to start your YouTube and what you need to get going? Well, I do have some experience with this. I do have 7 channels, and I've done over 3,000 commercials for other YouTube channels. Some of my other YouTube channels, I have 7 YouTube channels. I've done commercials for Adidas with Joe Carter. I've photographed Dennis Rodman, Joe Theismann, Aaron Brockovich, Ernie Hudson, Rudy, the real Rudy from the movie Rudy, Brian Schul, an SR-71 Blackbird pilot, Janine Stang, the first person to sing the American National Anthem in all 50 states. And so it's not like I'm walking into this completely blind. The only thing I really didn't know was the YouTube algorithm. I didn't really understand that because I was never really after that. I was making commercials to give to people or sell to people to put on their own channel. So I've never really been after subscribers. So now I'm after subscribers, and I'm going to see what I can do to grow my channel to my 1,000 subscribers and my 4,000 hours of watch time. That seems like an awful lot, 240,000 minutes of watch time. And I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube from various people, and a couple of the guys are saying basically that, okay, so there's this contradiction. Some people say only upload weekly, and other people say when you're first starting your YouTube channel, upload daily. And I tend to go with the latter. I mean, I've been uploading every couple of days, every week kind of thing, and it's not really got me a whole lot of extra views. I mean, I have one video that's doing, it's around 1,000 views about the ATEM Mini Pro overheating, but it's not really what I want to do. So what I really would like is I'd like to get my breakout video, and I need to get to 30 videos. So I am going to do my best to get out a video every day or every other day. I'm going to try and do a couple of live streams. I know I'm not that interesting live, but with some interaction from people that are watching, I'm sure that I can make it a little bit more interesting by answering people's technical questions. I mean, I'm a pretty technical guy. I've been doing video for a long time. I do real estate videos. I do real estate photography. I used to do photography quite a bit. But now with the YouTube thing, I'm really focused on doing some video stuff. I have a lot of equipment, which you can kind of get a small idea for here. And so, I mean, I'm a technical guy. That's all there is to it. Back in the day, I was around a lot of bands and things like that, working at various places, doing security for Alana Miles, Jeff Healey, a bunch of other Canadian bands. So I've seen the hardcore equipment, and I know what I like the sound of, what I like the look of. So when I started doing videos, I decided that I wanted to do it right, and I bought some fairly expensive gear. Not top of the line. I mean, there's microphones that are $10,000, but to me, that's just, ludicrous, really. So that's why I'm using the Shure SM7B, one of my favorite microphones, but you don't need that. You could just as easily get away with the $139 Canadian dollars, by the way, Rode Pod mic. And interestingly, in one of my future videos that's going to be coming up, I'm actually going to give this microphone away. I had Rob Laidlaw in studio today, and we were singing. Well, when I say we, I mean he, because I don't sing. He was on video singing, testing 5 different mics. We tested the Shure SM7B, the Rode Pod mic. Yeah, 10K is crazy. Sky Kuno, thanks for joining us. You're actually my very first viewer that's ever asked me a question, because this is my first podcast or my first vlog or live stream or whatever you want to call it, and I'm super nervous. You can probably tell I'm breathing like crazy. Anyway, Rob was in studio. Rob Laidlaw is now, today, he's a music producer. But he used to be the bass player for Platinum Blonde, Kim Mitchell, Jeff Healey. He's played for, I believe, Coney Hatch, Carol Pope from Rough Trade. If they were big Canadian bands, he's probably played for them for the most part. I mean, there's some that he hasn't, obviously, but he's got some pretty big ticket names behind him. Somebody's got to be first. Somebody's got to be first. And it's my first, your first, and you're my first. Oh, that sounds dirty. Let's carry on. So anyway, Rob was in testing all these different microphones today. And I can actually show you a little clip here if I can figure out how to do this. So I am kind of new to some of the gear here, but let's give it a shot.
On the darkest days, the lonely nights, storms will come. You are my light. I'm falling in love with you, loving me. I am not afraid.
All right, so that was Rob Laidlaw singing on the Rode Pod mic that I'm going to be giving away. Oh, maybe I should get him to sign it on the back or something before I give it away. But that's going to be in a future video. The way I'm going to work that is I'm going to give it away once I get to 1,000 subscribers. So on that note, I've got some fancy stuff going on here that I'd like to try out. Here we go. And if you're new to the channel, this is the part where we ask you to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. And of course, if you're a returning person, we thank you very much, but you still forgot to subscribe, so go ahead and do it now. Okay, that makes me laugh. So I've programmed all of these sounds into the Rodecaster Pro. You know, you'll be able to find links to the Rodecaster Pro, some of my Amazon links, my affiliate links, where I make a couple bucks if people purchase from my Genius. They're called Genius Links. Genius Link is just a place to keep all of our Amazon links organized, and it guides you directly to Amazon. And if you buy it from there, we make a small percentage to help keep the channel funded so that I can buy the toys like this to give away. And the more money the channel makes, the more expensive the toys will get to give away. I'm going to try and give away frequently, maybe not as expensive as Mr. Beast, but well, I can't say that. If I had his money, I may just do that. So anyway, we tested the Shure SM7B. That's this one. We tested the professional stage microphone, the SM58. We tested the PG46, which is the home version of the SM58. Also by Shure, we tested a cheap karaoke mic. And I think you'd be surprised by the results. So you can get like yourself a really, really good microphone for about 139 bucks Canadian. And this is one of the good ones, but the other mic that's in the video that I posted today is actually a better microphone. Comparable to this for about 1/3 of the price, believe it or not. So I'm hoping somebody will come up with some questions and maybe we can answer something technical. We were talking about, you know, what you need to get started on YouTube, and really you need a voice. Not even necessarily. It depends on what niche you're in. But you need a phone, minimum, so that you have something to capture your video and upload it to YouTube. And that should be pretty simple. If you've never done it before, we're going to be making videos in the future about, you know, how to stream from your phone, how to edit from your phone. We're also going to do some videos on operating the ATEM Mini. So my hot video right now is about the ATEM Mini overheating, and I was able to solve one of the potential issues that people have on the ATEM Mini Pro, overheating. And this is what I'm actually streaming from right now. You can see my little live on air button here. And now they've just come out with the new ATEM Mini Pro Extreme. So I'm kind of excited about that because it can do a whole bunch more stuff. It's almost twice as long as the ATEM Mini Pro here. And this is really just a live broadcasting studio in a little tiny box. So what do you need? You need a phone. You also need an attitude. And the attitude is hopefully the can-do attitude. A lot of people I see in the various forums that are just getting started, sort of like me, they're actually afraid to start. But I think that we're all like that. I mean, I'm actually terrified. I'm sweating like crazy. I mean, it's hot in here, but I'm sweating because I'm a little bit nervous being my first live stream. You're always afraid of what people are going to think, how you look. Do they like your background? Do they like your foreground? Do they like the way the video looks? Are they happy with the audio and things like that? And the reality is, if you have decent audio, doesn't have to be perfect, but at least decent audio, people will tend to stay tuned longer. But the biggest video tip I can give you right off the bat is really easy. Do you see this little space on the top of my head? It's about 2 hands tall before the top of the frame. That space is very important because I see a lot of people like this, and you can see that this head space looks really weird, and it doesn't work because people are trying to get their background in there. Well, the easy solution for that is to actually lower your phone or raise your phone and tilt it to put that still in the background, but keeping your head where you want it to be. So in my case, I kind of like the pictures that I drew back there, so I used them as the background. Unfortunately, they're white. I wish they were a different color or colorful or something, but they're just black and white charcoal sketches. So the nice thing is that they do light up nicely because they're white. The bad thing is that they're really not, they don't really add any color. And well, in some ways, I suppose I have enough color going on. I guess that's all you need. I've been experimenting with color. This is, a new thing. I'm trying to do red on the right and blue on the left, or vice versa. I'm not sure which direction you guys see it. But when you're creating your content, the message that I've been getting from everywhere is simply to be clear and concise, which I'm not very good at on a live stream. I really should have taken some bullet points and put them on the screen here in front of me on my teleprompter. And I have none. I'm just totally winging it, and I'm sure that you can't tell, right? Yeah, you can probably tell. It's the one thing also that I notice is how boring I sound when I talk in my normal tone of voice. So if you want to be exciting, you got to get a little bit more excitement, because they say that the video is going to actually take away 50% of your energy. And that's going to be pretty hard to do for an hour or a half an hour or 15 minutes unless you've got a script. Because you're just going to, well, for me, I would just get all fumbled up and embarrassed and things like that. So I'm not going to carry on too long because obviously nobody's asking me any questions. Nobody's interacting. And like I said, this is my first live stream. And I think that I've learned a pretty valuable lesson in this, is that I'm not prepared. And it's showing in my live stream quality. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to delete this video, because I'm certainly not. And the reason I'm not going to delete this video is really just because I want to see how crappy it was when I get better at it. And the only way for me to get better at it is to not be afraid, or not as afraid as I was when I first started this and as I am right now. And thanks, Sky Kuno. I appreciate that. Sky Kuno fan 24 says everybody has to start somewhere, and I'm doing great. I appreciate that, and I'm super uncomfortable at the moment, because I'm one of those guys that I'm super science guy, super techie guy, and I really like to be prepared. But in this case, I wasn't prepared, and it's a lesson learned. It's hopefully one of those things where I can now look back at this, analyze this video, and get better. And that's maybe the biggest YouTube tip that you can really have, is to post it anyway and get better at it as you go along. So I've got some videos coming up. I was talking about, I'm going to give away this Rode Pod mic, and it's going to go out to my subscribers. There's going to be a special instruction in the video, though, where I announce that, where I truly announce that I'm going to do that. And that's going to be the video with Rob Laidlaw, where we're going to be comparing that mic to all of the other mics. And I'm going to give a couple of special instructions so that I know that people paid attention. And when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to send it to you wherever you are in North America. I'll pay all the shipping. I'm going to pay all the duties. You don't have to worry about anything like that. It is a brand new fancy microphone. Everybody wants this microphone. I don't want this microphone because this microphone actually sounds better. Not because it's more expensive. It's just a tried, tested, and true microphone. This microphone is the same microphone that Michael Jackson used to sing Thriller. It's also the same microphone that Joe Rogan uses. Bruce Springsteen, I believe, has used it in some of his songs. Robin from the Howard Stern Show uses this microphone. Howard Stern, I believe he's using something different. I can't remember what it was, whether it was the NTG1 from Rode. But anyway, I have all these mics laying around, and this one just doesn't suit my fancy. But let me tell you, this is a heavy microphone. In fact, it's heavier than the Shure SM7B that I use. It's a tank. Solid piece of gear. One of the things that I'm going to let you know on a little secret, one of the things I don't like about the Rode Pod mic is that the pop filter in it isn't very good. So your plosives, the breath blowing over top of the microphone diaphragm is a little off for me. And I've seen people, they do make a foam for it. But man, it would just ruin the whole look of that microphone. It's a beautiful looking microphone. And I think that they would be competitive in the market with the Shure SM7B if they found a way to take the plosives out of it a little bit better. So I'm going to end it there. I'm going to have a drink. And if you're new here, well, here we go. I get to play it again. And if you're new to the channel, this is the part where we ask you to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. And of course, if you're a returning person, we thank you very much, but you still forgot to subscribe, so go ahead and do it now. That cracks me up. I'm just going to play the other sounds that I've made here. I mean, I'm not a monetized channel, but I've kind of tried to prepare in advance.
The latest incoming super chat.
Someday I'll get a super chat from someone somewhere.
Oh, hey. Thanks for the super sticker.
Sounds creepy, but I like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this just in, we have a new subscriber!
And then, of course, and this is the part where I just take a little break to sneeze, cough, go to the bathroom, do something silly like that, and I'll be right back. All right, so does anybody watching, do we have any questions, any comments? I'd love to hear from you. I mean, any idea? Oh, how about some ideas on videos that you'd like to see, related to camera, lighting, audio, video editing, or how about anything along those lines? I mean, I'd really be happy to make a video that people really want to see. And if my viewers are asking for it, then that means you want to see it. And I would love to be able to do that for you. All right, so I'm totally boring today. I get it. Hey, I had an idea. Maybe I should have a few drinks the next time before I go, oh no, that just creates an alcoholic there. I don't drink that much anymore. But that's all I have for right now. I'm really sorry this one wasn't as interesting as I was kind of hoping it would be, but I've learned some super valuable lessons here. And next time I'm going to do some bullet points here on the teleprompter that's in front of me and be more concise, I guess, is the big thing. It's difficult to be interesting when you don't have notes and nobody's asking you questions, because without those questions, it makes it difficult to make the content interesting, which is the lesson that I learned in be prepared. But I don't think you need to be overly prepared. I think that if you just put some bullet points on the screen of things that you know for a fact, or things that have worked for me, that I can give those tips on to you and carry on. I mean, I would honestly, at some point, I would like to turn this into a course. Not so much on the YouTube, because I don't think I'm really an expert in getting views on YouTube. I mean, I'm trying some different things and whatnot. But where I'm an expert is in camera and technology, lighting. I mean, I've had oodles and oodles of microphones and cameras and monitors and all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, I got a curved monitors. Actually, we've got four curved monitors in the house. And then, you know, the way that I've set up my my camera mount monitor to act as a mirroring image for what I'm looking at right now, so that when I'm looking at somebody, maybe I'm in a Zoom call or something, that I can talk directly into them, as opposed to having to look to this screen or this screen or this screen or that screen, and then I'm really not looking at the camera, and it's just I don't find that very appealing or very personal. But I do want to thank everybody that's tuned in, and if you're rejoining me on the live stream, or if you're rejoining us after the live stream, well, thanks. I sure do hope that you will subscribe, even though this video isn't the greatest video. It was a learning experience for me, and hopefully it was a learning experience for you too, so that you can learn from my mistakes that I just made and not do that. Maybe be a little bit more prepared, get ready for the things that people are going to throw at you. And in this case, nobody threw anything at me. Sky Kuno fan 24 was the only person that commented, but I really didn't expect to get a ton of viewers on this. And yeah, fail. But it's not really a big fail. It's a learning fail, and failing is really an opportunity to figure out what I did wrong and do better the next time. So the next time you see me, I'm going to be more exciting. I'm going to be more prepared. But most of all, I am going to have a lot more things to talk about. And don't forget to subscribe, because this mic is coming up in a future video in the very, very near future. And that's that. Hope you all have a good